Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I want to talk about David Crawley now, the late film director. God bless his soul. I think we owe him a debt of gratitude. I think that the warning in which he sent in the grey state, I think it's having a lot of merit right now in the UK, especially once we get a glimpse of these 600 special enforcement police, which will just be an early version of martial law enforcement officers. Yeah, it looks like David Crawley so loved America that he wanted to warn the people. But when you watch that trailer right to the end, it's really, really frightening, isn't it, when you get a glimpse of the old apron right at the end. So David Crawley was saying that what's coming into our future, not just to the USA, but to the UK, to the great two powers that are still in play at the moment, what's coming to them is that they're going to be systematically dismantled by the use of martial law and tyranny. Is this a means to an end? Is this what the apron wearers want? To completely destroy the American empire so that they can give up their support to another power? Let's just say that that's what their original intention was. Now, cast your mind back to 2020 when we had all this shenanigans with the Biden crime family and China. Wasn't that about the right time that they were making deals with the CCP? And the mainstream media and the Freemason press just tried to suppress all that. But let's just say that it was always the intention that China was going to take over as the next world power. I mean, as a Christian and as a theologian, I don't think they will do. I don't think that God will allow that. I think God has already decided that the Anglo-American Empire is the last human power. But man hasn't. And so in Satan's system now, and with Satan using all his earthly accomplices, they're likely to be pushing ahead with their New World Order plans. And if that involved China, then we would have to say that we have to have a war. So I think three things have to happen. We have to be sent into a full-scale war. There has to be another outbreak or a pestilence, and there has to be mass starvation. Does that sound familiar? Those three things? Well, it should do, because it's at least three of the horses of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Of course, the white horse and the rider of the white horse is Jesus. And so it certainly feels a lot nearer now. Now I've seen that the UK is taking a lead in rolling out what could possibly be full tyranny and martial law. I should imagine that America now will be taking note of this. There's certainly a lot of YouTubers like Redacted are doing a lot of videos on it at the moment. So I believe that America's turn will be next, and they'll probably use the election process, and maybe skullduggery will occur, and maybe Donald Trump will be denied presidency through some means. Whether it'll be foul or whether it'll be legitimate, I don't know. And that could be tantamount to starting huge civil unrest in the United States, driving a wedge right down the middle of the country. And now it makes sense why the Democrats want to take all the weaponry off the Republicans. because they don't want a hard fight. They want them to be unarmed so that they can just go in and massacre them at some stage. If, God forbid, civil unrest reaches a fever pitch. But if they're armed and they're fighting back, it won't be so easy for them. So that's my opinion on why I think they're pushing to have their guns taken away from them so that they'll be defenseless and just lambs to the slaughter. But I just want to finally finish off by saying that David Crawley and company were extremely brave to warn us that the apron wearers, the ones that are the rulers, who are issuing all instructions at the moment and have all the media completely in control, he was very brave to highlight that. And of course, it meant that he didn't carry on. It meant that there was it was a stop. And the film never really got made, did it? So it was only the trailer that we all saw. We never saw the complete film because they didn't want that kind of evidence dropped on the world. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to warn you. Why would they warn you? They like to mock you, for sure. Grandmasters at mockery. But to warn you is not something that they would do. So they'd like you just to walk straight into a hail of bullets, sort of symbolically speaking. But a big shout out to David Crawley, because that trailer changed my perception on a lot of things, as well as Aitlin Childs, his video. That changed me quite a lot.